ISO 27002 and the 2022 edition. Before we look at the changes coming to ISO 27002 later this year, we ask ourselves, what is ISO 27002? Well, ISO 27002 works in conjunction with ISO 27001, which provides the guidance to organizations on how to implement security controls which are listed in the Annex A of ISO 27001. This year, and the latest edition, we will see ISO 27002 updated with the last iteration dating from 2013. The latest update will bring the standard up to date with the ever-changing technological world. With so many advances in technology in the last 9 years, we need to ensure that the confidentiality, integrity, and availability from the ever-evolving threat actors and the tools they use. So what do we know so far? The new update breaks down into 4 clauses, and this is a huge reduction from the 14 in the 2013 edition. There are now 93 controls, which has been reduced from 114 with the addition of 11 new controls. The clauses are broken down into the following: Organization, 37 controls; People, 8 controls; Physical, 14 controls; Technological, 34 controls. The reason for this is to give ISO 27002 a better opportunity to align to risk management as the face of the organization. As the world today has evolved, it is felt that these changes will meet those demands. There are controls that will not have been removed, but updated and renamed to the current environment that we operate in. An example of this would be A.6.2, mobile devices and teleworking. This has been renamed to A.6.7, remote working, in the 2022 edition. There are also 56 controls that were in the 2013 edition that has now been merged into 24 controls for the updated 2022 edition. A perfect example of this is in the 2013 edition, we have the A11.1.2 physical entry controls and A11.1.6 delivery and loading areas. When you look at the granular details of these two controls in the 2013 edition, they are fundamentally the same. So I have two controls telling us the same thing. In the 2022 edition, this falls under 7.02, physical entry, thus removing the repetition that exists throughout ISO 27002 in the 2013 edition. This is alongside the other 55 other merged controls. Attributes. In the 2022 edition, we are seeing something different, something called attributes. Different attributes will fall under 5 categories that will help provide organizations on where to place their responsibility. Here are the categories and the attributes associated. Control type, the attributes preventative, detective, and corrective. Then we have information security principles, confidentiality, integrity, and availability as their attributes. Followed on by cybersecurity concepts, with the attributes identify, protect, detect, respond, and recover. Operational capabilities, governance, asset management, information protection, human resource security, identity and access management, threat and vulnerability management. And lastly, the final category, security domains, with the attributes governance and ecosystem, protection, defense, and resilience. Organizations can use these attributes to filter, sort, or present controls in a different view for different audiences and also for different purposes. This is to make it more simplified to understand. Attributes are not mandatory, and organizations can define their own attributes which will be relevant to their own organization. Attributes can hold different values to address certain needs within its organization, and the value of each attribute may differ with other organizations, since every organization we work with are different and will hold a different view on whether it is applicable to the control and the values associated to that attribute. And finally, what are the other changes we are expecting to see in the 2022 edition? Well, we can expect to see up-to-date terms and definitions, introducing subheadings in some control guidance text when it is long and it can be structured. There are 2 informative annexes, Annex A, that looks at using the attributes, and Annex B, which is correspondence with the ISO 27002 and the 2013 edition to help us align to the new controls. We're also expecting to see the start of the ISO 27001 review. However, this is expected to take at least 3 years to ratify any changes within that standard. In the new edition, we are going to see a modernized, simplified, and versatile ISO 27002 that is going to be structured in the following. Modern, 11 new controls with up-to-date guidance on existing controls. Simplified, a lower number of controls, 21 less controls in the second edition. And versatile, introduction of attributes to help organizations and industry bodies apply the standard in their own context.